Hi, this is Katelyn Liu, and I'll be going over lesson 38 for the 4th grade worksheet. The first worksheet you should have in front of you should say problem solving. Let's do the first two problems on this page. So number 1 says Karen bought 3 yards of lace for $2 per yard. Let's adjust this. And 2 yards of fabric for $6 per yard. She gave the clerk a $20 bill. How much change did she receive? So remember, change is like the leftover money after you, okay, well, let's just calculate how much it costs. So 3 yards of lace, $2 per yard. So if she bought 3 and each one is 2, then it's 3 times 6. 3 times 2. 3 times 2 is equal to $6. And then 2 yards of fabric for $6. So she has 2 yards, and each yard is $6. So 2 times 6 is 12. And that gives us $18. So her total came to $18, but she gave the clerk a $20 bill. So the change is just the difference between what she paid and what she owes. So we have 20 minus 18, which gives us $2. She received $2 change. Okay, the second question says Liz took a trip from Baltimore, Maryland to Huntsville, Alabama. Which unit of measure was she used to describe the distance between these two cities? So typically when you're talking about the difference between cities are large in itself, and the distance between them is even larger, especially since Maryland and Alabama are very far away from each other. So the largest unit of length of measure that we know is a mile. So I think you would use a mile. Okay, let's go to page 2 and see what's there. So this worksheet says mixed review and test prep. And the first number 1 through 4 is about fractions. Now, the first one is pretty obvious. 3 out of 6 plus 2 out of 6. They both end in 6, so you just add the numerators and put it over the same denominator. The second one is the same thing, so 7 minus 3 is equal to 4 divided by 8. You can simplify this to equal 1 out of 2 because both are divisible by 4. The third one, a little bit more complicated. We have, let's do 4 plus 7 first, which equals 11. And 3 over 8 plus 1 over 8 is 4 over 8, same denominator. Now we already know 4 over 8 is equal to 1 out of 2, so we can just write that there. 11 and 1 out of 2. Okay, lastly we have 512 divided by 8, or over 8, but it is the same. You can rewrite it like this and like this. We can go, okay, 8 times what number gets us to 5? 5 is too small, so 8 times what number gets us to 51, which would be 6. 8 times 6 is equal to 48. The difference between 48 and 51 is 3. Put a little 3 here. That's a 3. 8 times what number gets us to 32? Now that is 4. So your answer is 64. Okay. So this one is just you find the equivalent fraction. Let's look at number 6 then. Bradley is packing for a vacation. He packed 5 different t-shirts and 4 different pairs of jeans. How many different outfits can Bradley make? So for questions like these, you have 5 shirts and 4 jeans. So there's 2 categories, shirts and jeans. Now, they're asking how many different outfits can he make. You just simply multiply 5 and 4. 5 times 4 equals 20, so your answer is C. So, give an example of an object or distance you can measure with the tool listed. A ruler is what I'm guessing is kind of like a school ruler that you use, and I think it's just like smaller items, so maybe the length of your book. A tape measure is something for longer distances, maybe furniture or someone's height. So let's write furniture. Actually, the line is up here. confusing. And a yardstick, which is a lot wider. I think you can probably measure something a little bit bigger, so like let's see, a desk, which is furniture as well, but since a tape measure goes a little longer, I think it's more flexible, but a desk is about like the length of a yardstick. So the third worksheet, it says order the measurements from least to greatest. So what you have to do here is just go through the fractions and make them all equivalent to each other, or their denominators, and then add it along with their whole number, and just to see the least to greatest. Let's do number 1 together. So the greatest denominator we have here is 8, so I'm going to change all of them to 8. So the first one would be 2 and 4 over 8. Second and third one are already out of 8, and the last one would be 2 and 6 out of 8. So the smallest number we have is 1 and 7 out of 8, because even though 7 out of 8 is greater than all the fractions, the number, the whole number that it's with, is the smallest. The second one is either 2 4 out of 8, 2 3 out of 8, or 2 6 out of 8, and I think that's pretty clear. And it becomes 2 4 out of 8, and then the largest is 2 6 out of 8. Or you could write the original ones that, or so it's, accurate to the question. So the second part says name something for each measurement. Let's do the first 2 or so, the first 1 or 2. Number 7 says that's something that's 2 inches, so you're probably thinking like your thumb. Something that's 3 yards would be probably like the side of a room. 3 yards is pretty big. Lastly, we have this page, which is word problems using data. Let's do just the first question. So it says, your class wants to take a tour of the Natural History Museum at 1:15 p.m. It is 1:38 a.m. now. How long is it until the tour begins? So, 11:38 a.m. to 12 p.m. is, we know there are 60 minutes in an hour, and we minus 38. And now we have 22 minutes till 12 p.m. Now, 12 p.m. to 1:15 p.m. is 1 hour and 15 minutes, because 12 is like a resetting point. Now, 1 hour and 15 minutes, 22 minutes gives us 1 hour and 37 minutes, which is your answer. Okay, that is all we have time for today.